Well, Cam, we heard from Jalen Hurts yesterday and Kevin Patullo about the preseason, not playing a lot. Maybe that leads into the evolution of this offense. Maybe taking a couple of weeks. Do you agree with that?
I think it's just like any team. You want to get better every week and build and keep getting better throughout the year. I feel like it's kind of how we were last year. It took a little bit to find out where we were and what we are, and it's just what we're saying this year. This is a new team, new identity, and figuring that out yet. Week by week, and when you get to do that, going 2-0, it's a pretty good feeling.
Right. And this evolution, do you notice the difference on tape from week 1 to week 2 as you are building? Is that promising at least?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are doing a lot of good things, especially when we go on a road in a hostile environment. It's so loud, and I thought a lot of people were on point, and communication was good, and people were knowing what's going on, and that's always a big thing when you say we don't play in the preseason. This guy's just running the correct thing and not having missed assignments and things like that.
When you look at this passing offense, it's getting a lot of attention. People are saying it's inefficient, but you look at last season, I believe it was 4th fewest yards the Eagles passing attack had last season, and you win a Super Bowl. Is it a bit overblown, you think, the passing and all the yardage that goes into it?
I don't know. I try not to be a stats guy. I try to be a record guy, and right now we're 2-0. I'm trying to go 1-0 this week.
And this Rams defensive line, while they're young, really talented. What are you seeing on tape?
Yeah, very talented, athletic, and they work well together. They're going to do a lot of games, a lot of picks, a lot of stunts, and just saying they're athletic and they're young and they work well together.
Well, I can imagine, what we're going to ask you, a major topic about the tush push and all the conversation about it. What do you make of all of this noise this week?
I mean, I've heard a little bit. I don't really care too much. I mean, if you don't like the play, get rid of it if you're the league. I mean, run the play. Everybody can run it. It's not that hard. I don't know. It just seems unnecessary. It's kind of old, so make a decision, figure it out. But we'll run it till we can.
And when the league did make a decision in the offseason, did you think that would warrant even more discussion this year when they did make the call that you could do it?
I mean, not really. I think you guys are very focused on it, obviously. I guess it's controversial, but, I mean, at the end of the day, a quarterback sneak is a play that they've been running for probably 100 years in football. So, yeah.
You have to be extra cognizant that the refs might be watching it a little closer than normal.
I mean, you're always cognizant. We've been that way since we had some issues back in like 21 or 22 with it. So.
I don't think we've talked to you since the whole summer injury happened. When that happened, were you worried that it was going to be something more significant than it ended up being?
I mean, not really. It's what they make doctors for.
How are you feeling physically now?
I'm good. Football. So.
Do you think that had anything to do with the knee and overcompensating or anything like that?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Rams and their kind of daunting defensive front and going against them again for the third time?
I think the Rams have a really well-coached, talented young defense. I know it's a lot of young guys out there, but they play really well together. I don't know, just practice. So. But, very well coached, very talented. They play the run very well. They work well together as all 11 guys, and looking forward to that challenge.
There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk this offseason about you guys are expecting everybody's best shot as the Super Bowl champions. It's only been 2 games, but is that something you've noticed in the first 2 games at all?
I would hope that, we're going into, this next game giving it our best shot, and hopefully the other team is. I mean, you don't really survive in the NFL too long if you just overlook people.
Kevin Patullo was telling us yesterday that there's always conversation. Should you play in the preseason? Should you not? He said, the bumps along the way with this offense, you guys frankly just haven't played a lot of games yet. Are you noticing that with not playing as much in the preseason?
I think, you guys see it as preseason games, but you don't see the practices that we have. I mean, you're talking about one event, right? You're talking about one game, and usually you don't have starters in the entire game, so you're talking maybe a quarter, a couple drives, or a half. I mean, it doesn't really compare to the amount of times we've practiced together. And again, every year it's a new team, and it's figuring out, how this team's going to kind of come together. I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably forgot, but you guys were wanting everybody fired last year after 4 games, and we went into the bye week and figured things out. So, sometimes you don't just come out swinging. You got to figure things out and reassess every week.
It took that come to Jesus moment though from you and Lane to go talk to the coaches to switch to more of a run-heavy offense. Obviously, we're very early into this, but
It wasn't really a come to Jesus moment. It was
well,
really.
yeah. I guess I'm being honest, hyperbolic.
I mean, I don't even know what.
You guys said.
I don't even know what was said about that. I mean, really, it was just kind of figuring out what was going to work, and we settled on the offense we had last year. And now this year it's figuring out what works again.
Yeah, and have those conversations been normal, or just obviously, as you said, it's only 2 games into it, it's not worth going to extremes in terms of how you're
Really
handling
good for
this?
me to say that we should fire everybody.
No. I'm saying it's only 2 games in, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's every week. It's addressing, what the game plan is for the team we're playing, and figuring out what works for us, what doesn't work, and it's what football is.
The neutral zone, or
yeah, I mean, there's probably when you look at the referee standpoint, there's probably a few calls during each game that they like to have back, so they get fatigued just like the players. So but that's kind of how I roll. I mean, I get the play called in, run it, try to do the best. But looking into weeks ahead, I mean, it'll be for us to make sure that we're dialed in.
obviously the Rams, sorry if you've been asked this, Rams, they have a Super Bowl coach, Super Bowl quarterback, very accomplished group over there. Just how much respect do you guys have for those guys, especially with your team's recent history, and what will it be like on Sunday?
I mean, we know that what they can do with Stafford and offense. Good run game, the cool on the outside. Then you look at the defense. I think they're probably one of the best groups in the league. Definitely top 2 or 3. I just think First, Byron Young, Fisk, those guys, they do a good job. They can win one-on-one matchups, and they do a good job of running really effective games and creating constant pressure. So that's something we're going to have to pick up and address, but that's what we're looking forward to.
Byron Young's off to a really good start.
Yeah.
It looked like his game's kind of maturing.
Yeah, he has a really good cross chop, has a good club move now, some spin. So, just you can see the more experience that he's had, the more games he's played, the better feel he has for the game. So, he's really smooth, really crafty, very smart player.
How big those things, right?
It's about 80-20. They flip-flop.
It's still early, 2 games, but have you noticed more heavy boxes? You guys got a ton last year, but obviously coming off Saquon, have you noticed more heavy boxes?
Yeah, some. I mean, a lot of it's, there's unpredictability when it comes to games like last week. You saw with all the blitz zeros. But, yeah, I mean, I think when the NFL gets a whole season to kind of study what your offense is good at, they're going to do everything to slow you down. So, moving forward, I think they're going to, stack the box, try to win through there, much like kind of what Pittsburgh did last year. So maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but
Excellent.
Any theories why you're getting so many zeros?
I don't know.
15?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I don't know. It's in the house. They do a good job as far as run the football. Other than maybe a game or two, we really haven't done a whole lot against them. So, it was a tough battle. Came down there, and we got lucky.
Lane, I apologize if you've already been asked this, but when the league did say that the tush push could stay in the NFL last offseason, did you expect there to still be so much conversation about it this year?
No, I mean I didn't know we were going to run it 20 times this past game, so that's probably why. If it had been 1 or 2, it'd have been a lot better. But I mean it's one of those things that, like I said this every year. I never thought it would come to this magnitude, but it'll be heavily scrutinized, criticized, and maybe outlawed by next year. But for now, when I see it, when I hear it in the huddle, that's what I'm doing. But I will be more savvy and try to be more, in tune with the rest of the offense.
You're anticipating this Sunday, and what do you see from them on tape so far this year?
It's gonna be a tough game. Obviously, they're gonna be fired up. They do a lot of good things. They have a really good D-line up front. They play hard on the back end. Scheme-wise, I won't get into, but they have a really good D-line, so they put pressures on us to get open quicker. And, so yeah.
Emmanuel Forbes is a player you've gone up against a few times in your career. What's your scouting report going up against him?
To be honest, Emmanuel Forbes is in a positive way. For the last of my worries at this moment, I'm just trying to focus on my job and, get this thing rolling on offense. It's not about the person that I'm going against. So.
When you talk about getting the team going on offense, you've now had a chance to watch the team from Kansas City. What stood out to you about maybe why the passing game wasn't as efficient as you guys probably wanted to be?
Obviously, there's things that we can be better at, just being on the same page. I don't want to give you guys a story late in the week and going into the game, but yeah, just honestly, I can't say just being on the same page and just playing fast and communicating. So.
AJ, Jalen talked about being on the same page a lot. They had so much zero, I think it was 14 or 15 times. How did that communication go when they were playing that?
I thought it went well. Obviously, if he keeps saying it, then he may feel like he needs to do better, or we need to do better at it. So.
You talked about making a story. It feels like whenever you don't get a lot of targets nationally, you become a story, right? Nationally, is AJ happy?
Yeah.
He's going to get traded. He couldn't possibly be happy in Philly. Do you have any reaction to that conversation that always seems to be around you?
I don't.
How much do you watch other receivers around the league? Because they got two pretty good ones. Do you ever keep an eye on what other guys are doing? When like a Thursday night game or something like that, I tune in. But speaking of those two guys, those are really good talents on the other end. Puka and Devontae Adams, man. Devontae probably has one of the best releases in the game, and Puka's a guy who's going to play with physicality and plays really hard. So, our defense got their hand full. So I'm sure they're up for the challenge.
Do you think you guys are going to keep the same zone after zone, zone, based upon how good you guys have been historically against man?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell the future, but we'll probably so. till we do better with it. Absolutely.
You feel like you're on the brink of
the brink
of some good things?
Me personally,
or the offense in general?
Yeah, I'm always optimistic. Like I said, we're working hard, trying to get this thing rolling and put our best foot forward.
Do you see the potential for, obviously if they're going to focus on Saquon after what he did against him last year, like potential for like the offense to kind of open up a bit?
If I was the D coordinator, I probably would focus on him. Honestly.
So that could be good for you.
It could be good for all of us, not just for me, but for all of us. I'm sure he's going to be up for the challenge. I'm Saquon and the O-line, but when our numbers call, we just try to be ready and make the most of the opportunity.
As a vet, how impressed have you been with some of the young guys on this team, especially over on the defensive side, Jihad and Andrew making plays over the first few weeks?
The defense, man, like I said, the DNA, I think it's just rolling over, man. And I know it's a new team, but I think the DNA, the structure, like today we just had a tough practice, I should say. And they're really pushing each other to maximum ability, getting the most out of each other. And so it doesn't surprise me those young guys are stepping up. I don't think they have a choice, because if they don't, they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So.
You guys had an earlier bye week last year, a later one this year. How are y'all managing, adjustments early on and having those conversations?
About the bye?
It'll be a while until you have an extended break. It's really
okay.
So how do you kind of do that right now when you think of it?
I think it's just being present where your feet are. You can't really worry about when the bye, that the buys are a gift from God. Honestly, it comes at the right time every single year. But right now we just focus on the Rams and putting our best foot forward. That's all we can control. So,
what made practice so tough today?
Thursday practice are always insane. It's 2 hours. It's hot. It's OD. So I'm just complaining. That's all.
Healthy Dallas, how much can that open things up for you guys defensively?
It's another pass catcher, another great blocker. Dallas comes in. He's very physical. He worked extremely hard to get back. So I'm glad to have him back. But obviously, when all of us on the field together, it opens up the field for all of us. So, like I said, whenever the opportunities come our way, we just try to make the most of them.
Any thoughts on the tush push being a national conversation again?
Is there any relevant from the tape against the Rams last year with how crazy that weather was? Like, does that mess things up?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's snow. I mean, it's going to be, we play at 1 o'clock. I don't know the weather, but there's no snowing. so I'm sure they're going to be fired up, I'm sure. So
I just mean, like, from a scout, when you guys look back at tape and see what worked last time you played them, what didn't, can you take much from it because of the elements of last game?
Scheme-wise, absolutely. I think the elements are the elements, but scheme-wise, absolutely, you know, so.
AJ, 7 years in your career, there's more data available about players than ever before. Is this something you follow, like, you know, the advanced numbers about whether it's like separation, depth of target, things of that nature?
No. I don't think you guys should pay attention to that. Well, that's our job, so I'm sorry. But I don't.
Why should we pay attention to it?
That's your job. I'm sorry. I talk too fast. It's your job. You guys can do whatever you want to do. But no, I don't. For obvious reasons.
I just didn't know if you can view that as, you know, like there's I don't want to say the old-fashioned way, but you can look at, you know, catches, yards, touchdowns. There's so much more data now to kind of show the production of a player.
Oh yeah.
And is it something you even look into, or?
No, I'm not an analytics guy at all.
No.
You know.
And why not?
I mean, I think you judge all that is just about what you do when you get your opportunities. You know, and that's something, like I said, it's something that you can't control.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you go and look at it from the data analytics standpoint, I mean, obviously you're gonna find what you're looking for, but as wide receivers, you know, you're judging your performance of how well you played, how hard you blocked, and all those things, and you know, the numbers you put up too.
Those analytics help you right now. I mean, they should help you. They show that you're doing things to. That's probably what you're getting at, right?
In a way, I mean, yeah.
Like, I appreciate that. Okay, I appreciate that.
I was saying, like, you know, we can look at a box score, or we can look at, you know, stuff like separation on routes. We can look at the routes you run. We can look at the depth of your targets to kind of decipher things.
And you block.
And yeah, so
okay.
So like, but if it's not something you pay attention to, then it's not relevant to this conversation.
Just try to stay focused. Yeah. You know, that's our job.
What's it like watching film for you after a game where maybe you didn't get the targets or catches that you hoped for?
Just be really, really critical about my effort and, you know, blocking. What did I do when I didn't get the ball, and what did I do when I got the ball? So that's all.
What do you think the keys are? And I'm sorry if you've been asked this in many different ways. What do you think the keys are to getting the passing game going and more explosive, like you guys have shown before in the past?
I think just being on the same page, being where we need to be, Jalen doing what he needs to do, and throwing the catch. I think it's very simple.
What is the same page like when you say that? Is that just communication?
That's a lot of things, you know. Being there at the right time, you know, the ball being there at the right time. So it's just, you know, being in sync. So that's when I say, like, communication, and you know, so.
Jalen used that word a lot yesterday at synchronicity.
Yeah.
That big word this week, I guess.
No comment.
Do you think that there's any validity to, I guess, the belief that you missed some time during training camp, Devontae, some players?
That doesn't.
No?
No.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.